we have the AFC South. Titans, this one's easy because it's who they're going to pick so long as he falls to them, and it's Joe Alt. They need tackles, and Joe Alt is one of those guys that is, again, kind of seen as a reliable, safe, generational tackle. I think he's the guy there.
No debate there, and I think he will fall there unless Harbaugh takes him.
Oh.
You never know.
Do you have anybody else you want to toss your hat in the ring for the Titans here? No, just
Joe Alt. I mean, I think it's Joe Alt. Like, why even joke around? Yeah.
Don't even mess around. All right, Colts. They need to receiver or corner are the two areas that they need to address. Who would be most successful out of those? I don't know who you have for the Colts.
I like Brian Thomas to the Colts. I like Keon Coleman to the Colts. It's tough for me because the Anthony Richardson thing, it's like they're all in on him, and it's like
they don't have an option. They have to be.
I know, that's what I hate it because it just doesn't make me feel good like about them, and I just wouldn't be sitting there feeling like, okay, we have our guy for the next 6 to 10 years. I just don't think that they have that going on, and they're betting on that. Man, God, I would love them to take a quarterback, but they're not going to do that. So, yeah, I guess I'll give them my 2 receiver prospects that I like that maybe can help Anthony Richardson become their guy. But, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is another guy I'd mock Arnold to. Or another team I'd mock Arnold to, rather.
How about Bo Nix to the Colts late down the road, like later in the draft?
It's I don't like it either, but it's over. We're dealing with what we're dealing with over there. So
you don't think they take him late, just like or how about Sam Hartman late, like late, just to bring in somebody he's got more experience playing than Anthony Richardson.
Dude,
6-year guy, bring him in,
dude. It's over.
He looks just like Gardner Minshew. I mean, Gardner Minshew ended up beating him out for the starting spot last year anyway. Might as well just do it again.
He didn't. It was freaking injured.
He did, though. Once he started playing, they were clearly better with Minshew.
No, 100%. It's not.
They were better with Minshew before they ever they just decided to start him because they want so desperately to be right, and they're not.
Yeah, it's really rough, honestly, all around. Jags, 3 main areas, right? I think offensive line, receiver, and then if you want to add some corner help too, I think that's a route they could go. This is another, and I think this is the 3rd time I'm saying it's a good fit, but I do think it's a really fun fit, honestly. Xavier Worthy, Trevor Lawrence just needs a freaking weapon, like just somebody that actually breaks the game a little bit for him. Look, he has not panned out to be the NFL quarterback that I think people were hoping to thus far. I still think that potential is within him, and I just think that this kind of is a prove it year in that sense, obviously, right? Heading into, is this year 4 for him? So obviously, coming up on potentially, that 5th-year option, contract talks, all that stuff. He's been just a below average quarterback, and I think people were hoping for more, and maybe investing in the receiving talent helps kind of unlock some of that potential.
Yeah, I got a different receiver, another guy that we haven't talked about enough, Jermaine Burton. Jermaine Burton, this is a guy who was at Alabama and Georgia over the course of his college career and had great careers at both. I think he's freaky athletic, man, and I think that he provided a lot for both those programs while he was there. Dominated ball in the SEC, and I just think that he never really reached his full potential in college, but I think you're going to see him continue to grow and develop. And I think you get him with a situation with a guy like Trevor Lawrence getting him the ball, sure-handed guy who's going to get open, runs routes. I think he can kind of fill that Calvin Ridley role, that void that you're going to have. I really think he could do a good thing there.
Yeah. Not familiar with his game whatsoever, so I appreciate the bio.
I'll get you educated on it because he's a good prospect. For sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of, because Mark and I do not do this full time like a lot of draft analysts do. So the fact that I think we are kind of like 50, 60 players deep at this point and kind of have a good familiarity grasp of, not only who they are, what they do, where they're from, but also like certain attributes and nuances to their game. I'll take 2 seconds to pat Mark and I on the back for that because
We
again,
watched a lot of ball, John.
yeah, we do, and
watch a
it's
lot.
purely from a fan standpoint because no one's paying us for this shit. The last team to cover here, and then we'll do some quick new and noteworthy in the news section, which will be very fast because there's not a whole lot that happened. Are the Texans, and the Texans do not have a first round draft pick. They forfeited that first round draft pick to go get Will Anderson last year. That worked out well for them, but they have some areas they need to address. They're looking good on offense. I don't think they really have too much they need to do there. So probably defense, and a guy that just like I love this fit. I think instant success. I think D'Amico Ryans is going to love him. Apparently, the NFL at large is raving about this player. So we'll see if he goes earlier, if the Texans can even grab him. It's the CEO, Mike Sainstrill, coming out of Michigan. Again, Mark's saying, getting upset over it, but it's fair. The whole like nickel corner comp. He's a cornerback. He can play cornerback, but him at that nickel position for the Texans, I mean, that's just crazy potential there. Like I think it could be disgusting. So
it's a dream. It's a dream for what D'Amico does scheme wise too. I think it's a perfect fit, match made in heaven if they're able to get him. I think he'll probably go off the board earlier than people are projecting him to.
Yeah. Anybody from you?
I like him. I like Colston, another Michigan guy. Right, you're going to see the Michigan bias here, but again, D'Amico, they need another linebacker as well. I think this guy's a dog. I think he had a great career in college. He's not afraid of anything, and he's a guy that will go and he'll be a run stopper. And D'Amico's going to want to stop the run. I think he's got a bad taste in his mouth after not being able to stop the Ravens as well as he'd like. So that's something he's probably going to want to go fix because he's a defensive guy first. So either one of those guys, though, both Michigan men, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those guys.
Yeah, I think the Texans really get Mark and I jacked up in general. I mean, which I think a lot of people have the same feeling on it. It's just like, man, like they rebuilt overnight and they went from being a shit show to a wagon, like a legitimate.
They're a good team, brother. They're a good team, brother. As Scott would say.
So
yeah, they're going to be a threat.